Hello friends, welcome to Pega. Today we will be discussing about the implementation of the remaining question, which is 23 question. So yeah, we discussed about this question in our earlier video, but our friends asked to implement this, so I'd like to implement it. See, what is the question? Case needs to make few API calls and get the data from the service call responses and update the data, the details in the case. This can be done in the background. Okay, how can we implement this? See, okay, the answer to that one, what we told, I will create one queue processor um, I'll do the queue for processing. Then the queue processor will take care of those API calls and update the work object accordingly. Okay, this was the answer that we gave. Okay, so this is one way, but interviewer he implemented differently. How? How? I will explain. So the further question during this time period, the case might be sitting on one assignment and assigned to one work queue, right? How do you process the case forward to the next stage or next processor, next assignment? How can we move? Okay, the answer to that one is I can do the resume flow by passing the flow action name and resume flow. We manually resume flow is nothing but whatever we click on submit button, that is the same thing that happens by when we call this resume flow activity. Okay, we will see one by one. For suppose I'm opening, for example, I have this case life cycle, and first I will demo you this one. I'm entering some details here. After entering in my claim details, when I click on submit, at the background, see, it is clocking. Means some API calls and all are taking some time. And when we go to history here, view history, see policy details are fetched, provider details are fetched. Some API calls happened and the details are fetched and the same details updated in the case. And then after the case details are fetched and updated, then the case is moved to review claim. So the review claim work basket, the case moved to review claim. Operator from that review claim work basket can open this case and write his review commands, and he can see the details and click submit. When he clicks submit, then might be some more validation should happen at the background, and then after claim processing can start. Okay, so this is the claim processing that we build here. For suppose after entering the claim details, we have two utilities running, and also there is a comment is adding, and then after it is moving to next stage review claim, and on review claim, when the review comments are entered and submitted, the case is going to policy verification, provider verification, and after it is going to the process claim. Okay, now the part after claim details are entered, I don't want the user to wait for 2 to 3 seconds until the case is moved to review claim. I want to happen these three steps in the background. How can we do that? The first one is, the first as per this document, first one is we can create one queue processor, and in the queue processor activity we can make these three calls parallelly. Okay, this is one activity and this is another activity, and this is the pg post social. Okay, we can pass the message and call this activity, and these two are also activities. We can call them sequentially in the queue processor activity. That's it, done, work is done. And once that is done, what happens? Then the case should be whatever the assignment that is sitting, it should move to review claim, right? That was interview next question. Then we mentioned like by resuming the resume flow. Okay. See, why do we need to put these three steps in the queue processor activity? I don't want to put these three in the queue processor. I want to have these in my case life cycle so that when I open my case type, I can see what is happening in the case life cycle. I put here one queue processor run in the background step. I don't know what is happening in the background, right? So instead, I want to have these steps. Then how can we run these three steps in the background? Okay, we will see. So how can we? How to resume flow in background? Okay, that means we can resume. After this is done, we can put one assignment in the middle and we can resume that flow so that the claim processing itself will be resumed and these steps will be running in the case itself, case context itself, and then it will the case will be moved to this one. Okay, instead of manually operator clicking, we will put one more assignment and the queue processor will trigger the submit button. Okay, we will see. So it can be done either by queue processor or by SLA. In SLA also we have advanced flow station action is there. I'll show you how can we do in both the ways. Let's see. First we will go through the queue processor. Now let me, after claim details are entered and submitted, I don't want these to be processed. I want to move to a different assignment. So what I will do, let me open the process. In the process, between these two, I would like to put one assignment. Okay, this is the assignment, and this should come here, and this should go to here. Okay, and I'll give it like the option as background processing. It should assign to a different work queue. Maybe we can have a batch queue or some other queue dedicated. We can have one work queue and we can move this case to background processing. And what is the flow action? We need to have one dummy flow action. We can give it like batch submit. And we create the batch submit flow action. And let me create the section also. It should be like a dummy section which we will be using to just advance. Okay, I'll put the some data display label, put the label as is it a text? I want to have it like a label. Okay, fine. Not text. We need to have the one label. The display label is there. In label, give it like click submit to advance the flow. Advance the flow or click submit to move the case forward. Something. We can give submit and save and submit. So whenever we click submit, it will come to here. and it will be assigned, the case will be assigned to work queue. Now, what we need to do, we need to advance this case by automatically, right? So we need to have one automation which is run in the background, which will trigger the. So before moving the case to this assignment, I would like to queue an entry, either dedicated or standard. So this kind we can create one dedicated queue processor for just resuming flows. Okay, and queue processor name is like a batch resume flow QP. Something I will create like this, and so that it can be used in all the case types. Wherever we needed, we can do the same thing. So it can be background processing, immediate or delayed. We can give delayed. Even if we give immediate also, it's fine. The class is going to be in activity. I wanted to give the same activity. Okay, same name. I would like to create one activity. And here, the only thing it should do is resume flow. It should call the resume flow. We have one resume flow activity in the work class. PQRS. Okay, RESS. Okay. Yeah, this is the resume flow. What it is expecting is flow action name and the flow name. So here I can directly call the, what is the flow name here? Enter claim details, right? Enter claim details flow. This is the okay, this is the enter claim details is the flow name. Flow action name is batch submit. Save it. So how can we reuse? We gave the hard coded the flow name and flow action name, right? How can we reuse? So we can create two parameters here, like flow name, flow action name. Okay, and whenever we are calling the activity here, we can pass the parameters. Okay, dot flow name, or we can have separate two properties and set it here. See, if we give parameters here, do we have parameter option here? No, there is no parameter option. So we cannot use the parameters. Instead, what we can do, we can have the flow name and flow action name to new properties, and we can refer those properties parameter here. Okay, this is how we can do. And let's remove these two parameters. Save it. QProcessor is saved. Now let's come back here and submit it. So see, this QProcessor is dedicated, and this will be running on the primary page, means on the PV work page, or our work page context only. Save it. Now let me trigger. Okay, I'm going to enter some details here. Submit. This went for background processing. Enter claim for details. Okay, and I'm going to refresh the screen. See, this moved to claim review, and when we go to history, provider details fetched, policy details fetched, both are executed by Q processor this time. Okay, That is way we can resume the flow using this one. So when we put these two steps here, what happened? Once we enter the claim details, one entry is queued to the queue processor, and then the case is setting here. The queue processor is resumed this flow to here, and the case processing started and it completed these automations, and then it moved to review claim. Okay, this is one way. Now in review claim, when I click on go and then after entering some details and click submit, this time also it is clocking and it moved to process claim. The clocking, I have to save the user's time, and I want to uh, do these two also in the background. So how can we do? Now we implemented this using the queue processor, right? If you want to see how it was done, we can even trace the queue processor. Okay, let me enter some details here. Okay, before submitting into the process claim, and here go to admin studio, queue processors, and here we have next step, batch resume flow queue processor. One is run. So I'm putting the tracer on here, waiting for 1 minute. Now let me submit here. Okay. What happened, we will see here. See, it started this activity, resume flow QP, and it called the resume flow activity. This resume flow activity is doing the perform flow action. Okay, and it does all the, whenever we click on submit, whatever complete assignment happens, it does the same thing, and the case is moved forwarded. Okay, if you see create workspace. Okay, so if it's here, okay, let me go back here and open the case type here. So in run on background, what did we do? Batch resume flow QP, right? This one, and what it is doing? Batch resume flow, just call resume. Okay, fine. It does that the same thing, and I give many details in the inside the get policy details. That is the reason in the tracer you will be able to see many steps executing for this activity. This is the get policy details. Inside the get policy details, one data flow execute is happening and all. Yeah, that is how we can check. Now next, come to the next. The next one is we need to resume the flow using the SLA. Here, after the claim details are reviewed and hit submit, these two steps should be done on the background by the SLA. Okay, so for the same thing, what I will do is I'll put one assignment. Once user clicked on review claim submit, and then it should come here, and it should be moved to some batch work queue. And then here I'll give the, we have created, right, one batch submit, one flow action, the same flow action here, save. So when I submit here, it comes here. How it will be moved forwarded? For that, we need to create one SLA. Okay, that submit SLA, something we can create, and we can use the same SLA, same assignment, same flow action everywhere, wherever we need to submit this. So here, let's see. Initially, we need to have some emergency. After 20 seconds, goal time will be reached, and after 30 seconds, means 10 seconds, I would like to put the, on the deadline, I would like to put the one escalation activity. So perform action here, we can call flow, we can add, apply data transform, advanced flow, notify, transfer, and activity. So this is the one that we needed to do. Here, batch submit. Done, save it. We created one SLA. That SLA after 30 seconds, after starting the 30 seconds of this SLA start, then it will advance the flow. Okay, where it will advance the flow action here, this is the flow action, right? What is this? Batch submit flow action. It will be advanced. Done. Now let's submit the, create one more case, and let's verify how will process claim, submit. Let's wait for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So refresh. See, this came here, and now I'm reviewing the case. Then submit. See, this went to batch process review claim. Okay, see, if you see here, due is less than a minute now. Refresh. Due is less than a minute now. Same thing. 30 seconds. We have to wait for 30 seconds, and then after 30 seconds, it will be processed by agent, SLA agent. Okay, and SLA agent. Let me move to admin studio. Here, agents. What is the SLA agent name? SLA agent name. Service level events is the SLA name. Okay, and we can start the agent, stop the agent, restart, and trace. Okay, trace next earlier run. See, now refresh it. See, this moved to process claim. Now we will go inside and check the history. See, after submitting, when it went to the batch submit, this was processed by queue processor. After that, I completed the review claim and click submit. Then after agent system queue, okay, our SLA agent triggered and completed these details. Okay, even we can trace it. Let me go here, submit. If I don't want to have the background QP to process this one, I can click go. Okay, it already picked by. What happened? The claim got something. View history. See, Q processor, when it was trying to fetch the details, something happened, and at the back end it failed. Okay, assignment, something got failed, so it will do retry. But do we have the assignment for this one? Okay, we will do, that is a separate topic. Okay, background processing. I'm going to go batch submit. Now it came to the review. Okay, let me create one more case. Wait for a couple of seconds. Okay, why is this coming is the back end there is a activity, that activity I kept one data flow execute is failing. Okay. I was testing something else, so okay, background processing done, review claim. Now I'm going to click and go and submit. I need to wait for 10-20 seconds and then I can put the tracer on. I'm coming here and trace next earliest run. Okay, waiting for agent to run start. So here SLA agent tracing is a tricky because we might have lot of other SLA entries as well. So we don't know which one it is picking and doing processing. So if you see, I didn't get anything. Here, happen. Yeah, it is. I think it will be fetched now. Yeah. Just advanced, done, completed. See here, whenever SLA is running, the first activity gets called is establish context. And then after open and lock walk. So agents, we know, right? SLA agents, they will take care of locking. They will take care of if the lock is not acquired, requeuing. Okay, that requeuing, locking, everything will be taken care by the standard agents by themselves. So SLA is one of the standard agents, out of the box standard agents. Now refresh, done. So this is how we can implement this scenario. I hope it will be helpful for you. And one more thing, one of our friend pinged in the comments with one question. Okay, I would like to write that question. There are millions of claims requests to create the cases, case creation requests. Okay, case creation requests to create the cases in our application. Okay, what is the best way to implement this scenario? Okay, how the answer to this one is, here we are getting millions of case creation requests. That means, for suppose our system is claim processing. Claims will be submitted by 20 applications. Okay, from different 20 external applications, they will submit the claims. So 20 applications are submitting our claims. They will come to our claim process application, and we need to create the cases in our application. That is the scenario. Now, if we are getting millions, how can we create the cases? So in that scenario, when we are getting huge number of requests, we can't handle that much of volume by with the services. For suppose these 20 external applications are calling our